we're going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
This effort, and China has big plans for this. They intend to seed their digital yuan into the global environment by giving it away to visitors at next winter's Olympics. When they arrive at the airport, they're going to get yuan digital wallets. They're going to receive digital yuan. They're going to use it throughout their visits to Beijing, and then they're going to take it back to their home countries. They see this as a huge advantage. Why? Because who controls the underlying protocols, who controls the underlying standards of the future of money will control the future of money.
Uber, Bitcoin, self-driving cars. Combine those three together and you have the self-owning taxi. A car that is a corporation that owns itself, pays for the car lease, the car insurance, and the gasoline from the revenues it makes, giving passengers a ride, and there's not a single human involved in that matter.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And guys, I come back with that video just to make you think. Now that Bitcoin is headed down, now that's all you hear about is the negative news. We know how CNBC does it. The yin and the yang. But now people are calling Bitcoin a Ponzi scheme. Now, guys, if I didn't know about the fourth industrial revolution, I would call it a Ponzi scheme. The price, yes, is inflated. But we know when it comes to Bitcoin, if you read the original white paper, it was for payment. And we know that intelligent people know this. They get on CNBC, they lie. But guys, you have to understand, we're moving into the fourth industrial revolution where we have to have internet money. Why do we have to have internet money? Because the drones, robots are going to be accepting money now. That's the reason why Bitcoin is definitely an asset and a currency at the same time. On none of your mainstream media, they never talk about the fourth industrial revolution. They just put out certain articles. Okay, they're going to be flying drones over our head now. More companies are going to be using virtual reality. They don't talk about that. It's not in your mainstream media. And now, guys, we have the hacking. What did I tell you about the cyber hacks? Y'all know I told y'all it was coming. Now we have Apple being targeted, guys. And they want what? Monero as far as payment. And how do the movies go, guys? That's right, it's the Russians. The Russian gang are evil. Because we know when it comes to the New World Order, it's all planned out. Y'all have a wonderful day.
Been taken on as people have been buying up cryptocurrencies, maybe not in the last week or two, but clearly over the past several months, I have seen you take to Twitter and call this everything from a failed currency to an open Ponzi scheme.
It has characteristics of an open Ponzi. In other words, everybody knows it's a Ponzi. Basically, there's no connection between inflation and Bitcoin. None. Okay. I mean, you can have hyperinflation and Bitcoin going to zero. There's no link between them. It's a beautifully set up cryptographic system. It's well made, but there's absolutely no reason it should be linked to anything economic. If you want to hedge against inflation, buy a piece of land, grow, I don't know, olives on it. You'll have olive oil. If the price collapses, you'll have something. But Bitcoin, there's no connection. And of course, the best strategy for an investor is to own things that produce yields in the future. In other words, you can fall back on real dollars coming out of the company, plus with tail risk hedge. There's no other alternative. And these gimmicks, of course, you have Bitcoin today, you may have another one tomorrow. They come and go, and there's no systematic link between them and the claims they made. I thought that Bitcoin initially was going to be a currency in the sense that something you transact with. It proved to be too volatile and it turned into a speculative tool. It's incompatible with the original aim to replace the dollar. You don't replace a currency with something that's so volatile that you can't really commit to a transaction in it.
But what about the view that it's an asset, that it's a commodity, it's a digital gold? I ask, by the way, because I've been skeptical virtually the entire time as well, and yet, I look at the screen, you can look at the screen, and we can both say, at least at the moment, we've been quite wrong.
No, there's a difference between a currency, and a currency commands price stability. That's what the Federal Reserve's mission is. It's not, it's price stability, not an appreciation of the dollar, and something that rises in price. I was fooled by it initially. I thought it was going to be a currency. Something that moved 5% a day, 20% in a month, up or down, cannot be a currency. So it's something else. It's like tulips. They can rise. Bitcoin go to a million.
But the question is, let's say it's something else. Let's say it's not a currency. And maybe it isn't a currency. But the question is, does it have value? I think you bought into it originally and actually sold out, right?
Yeah, of course. When I realized, I bought into it thinking, not willing to have capital appreciation so much as wanting to have an alternative to the fiat currency issued by central banks, a currency without a government. Then I realized it was not a currency without a government. It was just pure speculation. It's just like a game. Nothing. Nothing else. You can create another game and call it a currency.
And you don't think is there ever a point, though, at which it could reach such mass adoption and could actually get to some level of stability that you think it could be used as a currency, as you see the adoption of the Venmos and PayPals and other wallets and maybe a much more sort of global usage, that dynamic would change? That's the argument that's made on the currency side of it.
Okay, so the fact that someone accepts Bitcoin as form of payment is very different from treating it as a currency. You have to commit to a fixed price in Bitcoin. So in other words, I have a contract with you. I'm renting your apartment. I'm paying you in Bitcoin, and you take the Bitcoin risk, And I haven't seen transactions. There may be some I'm not aware of where the price is fixed in Bitcoin, not in dollars, translated into Bitcoin. Right. So, and if you want to wire money, there are more effective ways to do so. And if you want to use a currency, use Apple stock. That's a currency. You can convert it and pay with Apple stock, and probably.
Yeah, well, Shep, REvil is a well-known hacking group made up of native Russian speakers that are likely operating out of a former Soviet republic. But now something has changed with this group. They're going after much bigger companies and demanding much higher ransoms. Here's what we know. Cybersecurity experts tell us REvil has conducted more than 170 attacks so far, and they've likely extorted more than $100 million already from companies in the West. Analysts believe Vladimir Putin's government is protecting them, so U.S. law enforcement won't be able to bring them to justice anytime soon. They're famously aggressive, taunting their victims online like they did this week with Apple's Tim Cook. Their signature move is stealing a CEO's personal cell number and then calling the chief executive personally to taunt them about that stolen data. But they can be surprisingly professional for a gang of crooks.